now have a very quick competition. Fingers on buzzers, kids. I'm going to read the opening line of a couple of famous works of literature. If you can guess from which books these lines are read, you will receive a fishbowl gift card. You're going to need to raise your hand quickly. I've got a prefect on standby scanning the room to work out whose hand shoots up first. Chapter 1. Mr. Jones of the Manor Farm had locked the hen houses for the night. It was to, yes, Oliver.
Animal Farm.
By.
George Orwell.
Chapter 1. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch. Thanks, I'll just pop the hand down for now. I'll read a little bit further. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far unlike the present period that some of its noisiest authorities insisted on its being received, for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. And yes, the final phrasing, I'm sure, helped you all immeasurably of working from whence that came. Anyone? Other than Oliver? Oliver?
Tale of Two Cities.
Alright, I'll bring yours up in a moment. Another that for you. Okay, that's it because we just simply don't have time for any more. But if you'd like to come for a spot opening sentence reading for the chance to win a gift card, you know where my office is. Come and knock, and I will select a book at random, quiz you, you can see if you can guess it. Drop everything and read day. Please get reading today and use today. Maybe it's an opportunity to inspire you to read more in the future. It's a stellar way to relax, get away from some of the realities of your day-to-day world, and build the reading muscles that you are going to need desperately when you get to university. For those who will be heading that direction, you will have to read volumes more than you're currently reading, so you've got to get yourself prepared for that. Maya Cassie has started an initiative to try and introduce more voices from the local community that are involved with organisations that offer volunteering opportunities. We talk about service a lot here at QMS, and Servite Fortite is of course the school motto, but sometimes it's hard to know where you want to apply that, or how you want to serve, or what opportunities are out there. This morning, we have Amy Gibb, who is the Community Development Coordinator for Vancouver Island, and Amy's come to speak to us about volunteer opportunities with Special Olympics BC. So please give it your full attention, and then really consider whether this is something that you might like to try, or experiment in getting involved in, and see how fulfilling that opportunity might be. Please join me in welcoming Amy Gibb.
So like was said, my name is Amy. I work for Special Olympics British Columbia, and I help support the programs that are running on Vancouver Island here. We're going to start with a couple of videos here, but just first I wanted to ask if anybody has heard of Special Olympics before. Ooh, a few hands, that's great. Can anyone tell me what they think it's all about? Yeah?
The Special Olympics, like people who have disabilities.
Yeah, for probably all heard of the Olympics, which we watch on television, and just following the Olympics are the Paralympics, which are for athletes who fit certain criteria and have physical disabilities. And then Special Olympics is also a worldwide organization, and then our criteria is for athletes who have intellectual or developmental disabilities. So does anybody know what an intellectual disability is? Yeah?
Maybe a learning disability, possibly, or like ADHD.
Okay, so it's a little bit different than that. That could be more so on a developmental disability, yeah?
Is it people who's coming to be disrespectful or whose brains kind of work differently? That's like Down syndrome?
Yeah, exactly. So quite often a person is born with a condition that affects their adaptive functioning. So trying to perform tasks of daily living can be an added challenge for them. So people might have a genetic disorder like Down syndrome. It could be something like fetal alcohol spectrum disorder or global developmental delay. When we think of autism, that kind of falls more on the developmental disability, but we're inclusive of all those types of disabilities. Whether athletes are working on their goals within their sport programs just to be active and gain some skills in sports, or they're competing at that world level, that national or world level, which we also offer to our athletes, like the Olympics and Paralympics. So maybe we'll hear from an athlete. This video that we've got up here tells a bit from an athlete named Ashley. She lives in Campbell River and has been involved for many years, so I'll let her introduce herself.
The sports I do are track and field, swimming, 10-pin bowling, floor hockey, and snowshoeing. I have discovered Special Olympics has become a major part of my life, both in sport and outside of sport. The awesome thing about participating in Special Olympics is that we are all one and accepting of one another, no matter what. It does not matter what our differences are, we accept one another as is. The only thing that is asked is to treat others the way we would like to be treated. I now have a very active life outside of my home, and additionally, my physical fitness would not at all be close to what it is now than had I not been in Special Olympics. Another fun fact is that over time, I have developed the confidence to open the doors of which have led to my current 3+ years of employment with Thrifty Foods. I have never been more physically stronger than what I am now. Never had I thought I would be a competitive runner, swimmer, or snowshoer, or etc. But yet here I am. I have also learned quite a profound amount of life lessons through Special Olympics. One of these lessons was to be courageous in spite of circumstances, real, big, or small. I have learned to be a better team player, inside and outside of Special Olympics, and that I am unstoppable. And I can accomplish anything when I truly put my mind to it. Lastly, I have learned to fully accept that being neurodiverse does not mean I am any lesser of a person.
Yeah, so that was Ashley. She's competed at the regional level here on the island, at the provincial level. She's been on Team BC, competing in national games, and has qualified to World Games before as well. So we'll get into my slideshow here. But feel free to raise a hand and ask a question at any point during my conversation. I want it to be more of a conversation. So if you have any questions, please let me know. So Special Olympics BC is recognized by Sport Canada as the main provider of sport programs to athletes with intellectual disabilities. We're a worldwide organization, so we are Special Olympics BC, but we have Special Olympics programs across the country and across the world, and that's how our athletes have the opportunity to compete internationally as well. We have thousands of athletes and volunteers across the province in many, many communities. So I mentioned that I support the programs running on Vancouver Island, so Cowichan has some programs, as well as 9 other communities in the region as well. And and I work for Special Olympics BC, so I live on the island, but our main office is in Burnaby, where we have a communications department, a fundraising department, and our sport and program team. But for the most part, Special Olympics is a volunteer organization and runs off of volunteerism around the world. So, yeah, we have lots of opportunities, coaches, assistant coaches. To be an assistant coach, you have to be 16, so that might be a year or two away for a few of you. But we also welcome program volunteers into our sport programs too, so if you're looking to help out and help out the coaches run the programs, that's a great opportunity at your age or at any point. If you don't know anything about curling, but you really want to help with the curling program, you can be a program volunteer. We offer coaching courses for our volunteers, so an NCCP Coaching Association of Canada certification is available to our coaches, as well as lots of coach development workshops to help you gain more skills as a coach in a particular sport. We also offer professional development opportunities for program volunteers and our administrative volunteers. So lots is coming out of our provincial office for volunteers. We also have a committee of volunteers doing the behind-the-scenes things within the community. So again, it's more adults that populate that group here in Cowichan, but we have volunteers who are purchasing uniforms, organizing competition, renting facilities, doing all the behind-the-scenes things as our sport organization needs. So I mentioned the local committee. These are our roles here. If there's any adults in the room that are interested in volunteering in any of these roles, we do have some vacancies. So I'll leave that up for a second. Any questions so far? Just about coaches or volunteers?
You said ages 2 to 91, I think the age range was. Is there a class of age in each event, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we have youth programs specifically, so ages 2 to 6 is a beginner program called Active Start, where the little ones get to practice their gross motor skill development. So it's not competition, it's more play. They're working on balancing and running and throwing and skills that sometimes children are born not able to be, like they need a little bit of extra help in those areas. So Active Start provides a space for them to play and develop those skills. And then we have another program called Fundamentals, which is for ages 7 to 11, and they start to develop more sport-specific skills. And then once athletes reach about age 11 or 12, they graduate into our generic sport programs. So that's where we offer 18 different sports across the province. I'll get to that in a minute. And within those sports, we division. So we division based on age and gender and skill ability. So athletes have the opportunity to compete against athletes of a similar skill ability as them. Because like I mentioned, we have some athletes who are brand new to sports, they're just going to the practices in community, and some athletes are training for World Games. So there's a little bit of difference there. Is that okay too? Yeah, so here's our youth program intro. Like I mentioned, Active Start. So ages 2 to 6. We had a physiotherapist from Sundrop's Development Center, Child Development Center, run an Active Start a couple of years ago. So yeah, we ran that in the Valley, which is a great opportunity if anyone enjoys working with young children and wants some experience in that field. And then these little ones will put a smile on your face for sure. So that's a possibility for one of our programs. As well as Fundamentals, so that's for ages 7 to 11 to develop more sports-specific skills. We find that it's in this age group that kids often kind of fall behind their peers or are not included in generic or community sport programs. And when that happens, the child might lose interest in sports. And we all know that having an interest in sports and activity will keep you active as a teenager, but well into your life as well if you have that interest and that understanding of activity. But for some children with intellectual disabilities, if they're not included in that sport community, they might grow up to be less healthy or less interested in being active. So really important program to give space for those kids to work on those skills so they can join Special Olympics programs or community programs in the future. We also have some sports available in high schools too, so we have athletes with and without intellectual disabilities playing together. Excuse me. But just in the quick time, I'll kind of skip that. These are our sport programs that we offer across the province. So Cowichan, we're running floor hockey, swimming, bowling, and Club Fit, which is a fitness program that doesn't require competition, but is kind of like a workout session. Our programs run once a week throughout the winter season here, which is now until March. And then April to June is when we'll start up our summer sports. So here in Cowichan, we offer softball, soccer, bocce ball, and track and field in the springtime for our summer sports. We've run powerlifting and rhythmic gymnastics and basketball in the past, but we're really just looking for more volunteers, coaches and program volunteers, to support the programs that we have running now and also get some new ones up and going. Does anyone play any of these sports up here? Couple? And this is our competition cycle. So like I mentioned, we have the opportunity for athletes to compete at provincial games, national games, world games. We have a winter season and a summer season, just like the Olympics as well. So right now this season for winter, we have some athletes on the island heading to Calgary in February for our national games, as well as for our summer sports within our region. So Vancouver Island will be hosting all the summer sport competitions, so athletes can qualify to provincial games next. Yeah, and I mentioned the athletes practice once a week for about an hour, hour and a half. We like to incorporate a proper warm-up, a proper focus on fitness and cardio, sport-specific skill development, and we support coaches with those coach development webinars, lots of resources online to help ensure that athletes are getting a quality sport experience as well. Some benefits of the programming. So for athletes, they become part of this community. They get the space to develop their sports skills and be active in life. They gain confidence, like Ashley was saying in the video. She gained a lot of confidence from participating in sport. She has a job. The video is a couple years old, but she's been working her job for many more years now. Yeah, so really lots of benefits to athletes as well as to volunteers too. So we're going to watch one more video in a minute about a volunteer's experience. But I can share too, I started as a volunteer with Special Olympics here in Cowichan. I helped coach our softball program, and it is really just the best part of your week. You go and you meet some lovely people who have strengths and skills that you didn't maybe realize that they had. And it really is very fulfilling to participate in helping other people better their lives, and it will help you better your life as well because you get to see the diversity of strengths amongst people in your community. And yeah, that's the power of sport. It brings us all together. I'm going to skip through a couple of our other initiatives, but we do have campaigns that we can bring to your school to spread awareness and inclusion, such as the Spread the Word Inclusion campaign. Try It Days offer an opportunity for athletes and volunteers to try out different sports and get engaged with the organization. And we have a health coordinator with our provincial office who puts on screenings for athletes to check their hearing, their oral health, physiotherapists, mental health experts. These are the types of folks that we bring in, and we're always looking for volunteers for these one-day health screenings as well to help the athletes out. Lots of information on our website, especially with the pandemic. We've done lots of coach development webinars and recordings that are now up on the website. And here in Cowichan, we need some committee roles filled, and then pretty much any sport that you might be interested in helping out with. We're welcoming volunteers, so floor hockey, Club Fit, that fitness program, bowling, swimming is what's that's running right now. And then, like I mentioned, soccer, softball, track, and bocce in the springtime. And maybe we'll jump to the volunteers here, or rules. So Hina is a volunteer with Special Olympics BC Bergen, I believe. So she's going to share a little bit of her experience for a few minutes here of what volunteering is.
So volunteering with Special Olympics BC has been really rewarding because you can see how much the athletes enjoy it, and for that you always need volunteers. So when you go in and you see how excited all the athletes are and how happy they'd be there, it really puts it into perspective and seeing how big of an impact you're making on someone's life. My role is mostly finding volunteers, helping coordinate them. It definitely helped my leadership skills, and I think that helps in future job roles. Anytime there's any leadership or problem solving or anything like that involved, it adds to my skills. To anyone interested in volunteering with Special Olympics, it's a great opportunity. You get to have a lot of fun yourself, and it brings a lot of happiness to people. In terms of the impact volunteers have on the athlete's life, we wouldn't be able to do these programs without them. It's because of them that this is happening, and we appreciate every little bit of time they can give to us, and they always make a great impact on the athletes' lives.
Okay, so I pulled all the information that I sent your way. Some kid maybe it's but I did leave some brochures with Mr. Monroe, and it has my contact information on it, as well as links to our Cowichan website here. You can see the schedule and see if it's something you're interested in doing. You're welcome to ask me any questions via my email or my phone. Does anyone have any questions right now? Is anyone thinking about volunteering in some service hours for school or to build your resume? Yeah, it's definitely a good idea. Whether it is for school or just for gaining that experience and showing to future employers that you're invested in sports or recreation or working with people with diverse abilities, and lots of skills can be gained, like you mentioned.
Well, I was curious about, was that wrestling that was in the video, or?
We don't have wrestling, we have powerlifting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Any final? Break bands.
How do you sign up?
How do you sign up? So you can get a hold of me or go through that brochure. If you type in Special Olympics BC Cowichan, everything will pop up for you. We have a registration form, and we do criminal record checks for people 16 and older. And we have a little online orientation for you to do, but those are pretty much the three kind of components of signing up: is registration, the online orientation, and because I'm supporting Cowichan here, I'll probably answer some more of your questions and introduce you to the head coach. And you can get more. Okay, thanks so much everyone for your time. And like I said, you'll have my info, so please send me a question.
Yes, society is not always set up for everyone to have genuine crack at success or to pursue their dreams, but it's great that organisations like the one he works for are really helping those who who might be a little bit disadvantaged in life achieve some great goals and some success. So if you're interested, please follow up by the service board in Spurgeon Hall. There are some of the pamphlets in there, so you can read a little bit more about that, and you could make a significant difference in supporting someone else reach a great goal. And I think that'd be hugely fulfilling, and you learn a lot through the process too. Thanks for this morning. I know we've run over by a couple of minutes, so please get to your next class as soon as you can. And just another huge thank you to Amy, and I'll just invite her to lead us out today. So thanks again. Have a great day, everyone.